How to flux core arc weld as a beginner. What's going on, family? My name is Joe Brown, aka Black Phoenix, and I am your welding coach. And today we're inside of the booth. We're gonna run a couple beads, and I kind of want to give you the introduction to flux core. Very, very easy process when it comes to fabrication, when it comes to building products, bridges, putting up buildings. Flux core is the go-to wire to go to. You can do more fluxing than you can stick welding. Like literally, they did a building that they had to use flux core, and the guy said it would have been unreal the amount of money they would have had to spend if they did stick rods. So they did flux core on all the joints in this building, and this was a building that they put up in Las Vegas. They did a new motel, casino type, and all the joints was welded together. They wasn't riveted. They wasn't. They probably had a couple bolt connections, but on the majority, all the major slices was welded, and it was flux core. So for those who want to dive into flux core welding, typically you're gonna look at, like right now I'm seeing around 17 to probably no higher than about $25 an hour. That's just straight flux core welding. That's when you a beast at using the wire. It's gonna range. Now, depending on what location you in, the prices can vary. Depending on if it's a shutdown, depending on if it's a turnaround project, if it's a government, or what the situation is, a contract. You can make more on jobs like that depending on the per diem. But if you're just diving out of welding school into a job, most areas like Little Rock area, they do a lot of manufacturing here. We got a port actually that runs through the city, so they actually transport a lot on the river. They transport a lot on the Arkansas River, so it actually runs through the city. And I wasn't aware of that until probably like a year ago, that I wasn't aware of the full layout of how they do everything. But they have a few companies here that actually do a lot of manufacturing. And one thing that they do, family, is flux core. And on a majority scale, you are going to flux core, especially test in vertical and overhead. They do a lot of vertical and overhead. Now, when it comes to manufacturing though, they gonna do flat and horizontal. I have seen them do flat and horizontal. Flat and vertical, and I have seen them just do horizontal alone, which majority of their welds are gonna be horizontal or the flat position, because they always turn everything, flipping it over with the cranes. And it just make it a lot easier to weld if it's flat all the time. So they normally they have you do like a 1-inch coupon all the way out in the horizontal position, or the vertical, or the overhead if they do stuff overhead. But a lot of times companies will try to make sure they overqualify you. So if you might have to take a 1-inch test with the flux core, but you probably never weld nothing that thick. Now vice versa, it could be like that. It depends on what type of joints and stuff they're doing. Because I have did some joints that I think the biggest one I ever did was probably 2 to 3 inches wide. I was literally just running beads until we filled it all the way in. So it all depends on what you're doing. So today, while I had a minute, I wanted to run a couple beads, and I made up a scrap T-joint. And with this scrap T-joint, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to run the flux core in all positions with this T-joint, just to give you an idea of how it works. Now, first thing I did, I ran a bead here. I'm gonna actually knock the slag off, and I'm gonna run another one. But I want to show you what flux core looks like, fam. Look at that. That's flux core welding. Just a nice, it don't have a lot of ripples in it or nothing. The main thing is the consistency of it. No holes, no pinholes, no worm tracks, no up and down spots. That's the main thing. So you just want to practice it. Normally getting started practicing, you're just going to run stringer beads. Run stringer beads, tying them in until you get comfortable with using the gun, the angle, and the heat and all of that thing. But beforehand, before you dive into it and really start getting the money, you got to start just running beads. Yes, I can do some on some stick. I'm gonna have to do that on another video. The root pass. The main thing you want to do is hesitate on the sides, fam. Hesitate on the sides. Don't go too fast and hesitate on the sides when you're doing the root pass. So I'm finna dive into this real fast. I'm actually run a stringer, and we're gonna run this one, and then we're gonna make a couple marks so we can weld this in all positions, and just to show you what it looks like. Now, if you can perform something like this, even that bead right there, once you can perform this, this is easy. Like I say, in Arkansas, most definitely, from $17 to $22 an hour, flux core welding off the top in Little Rock. So if you just learn this process, 17 to 22 off the top, is especially 22 if you can pass the test, which is vertical up and overhead, or they got some where they just do the horizontal. So the horizontal and the T-joint. So it all depends on what company it is. Okay, hey, need to learn, fam. That's my goal, fam. My goal is to bring y'all some fresh and realistic welding information, education that you can be able to use, like practical that you can actually use. So if y'all have any questions or certain things that you might want me to show, make sure y'all inbox me as well, because once I finish the videos, a lot of time I don't see the comments. So make sure if y'all want some specific videos done on certain things, make sure you hit me up so I can do that. Yes, you can stay at the trade as long as you want, fam. But then once it's time to stop doing one thing, now you into the office or selling products or, you know, recruiting or whatever. The main thing, fam, with stick welding, the main tips is going to help you keep this in mind. Travel speed, your gap to the metal, and your angle. If you can fine tune that and really understand it, and as long as the machine and everything is set properly, you should be fine, fam. But you're gonna have to practice that. You're gonna have to literally just run it until you start seeing your errors and ways to correct them. If you're doing straight short circuit MIG, just keep it tight. You don't want you don't want your wire to exceed a ½ inch. Nothing over half, I say around a 3/8, and find you a pattern to stick to it. Circular pattern or back and forth. Master a pattern first before you start trying to do different things. Learn one way, get it down pat. You know, so just run you a lot of beads and time in until you actually get the process. Yes, I do teach TIG, but here we only teach the introduction to it. But we do teach it here. And it's the same thing. You want to run beads when you're TIGging. You want to use your left hand and you want to use your right hand. You just want to, it's practice is everything, fam. As long as you got the right gas and the right setup and the equipment, you good to go, fam. Yes. I do welding coaching one-on-one. I do private classes. I do over the phone, and I do Zoom videos. I have people who already got the equipment, so they'll call me and they'll set up a weld coaching where I show them how to set their equipment up, how to use their personal equipment. Sometime it'll be about starting the business, so I do have consultations on starting your business, setting it up, how to get your EIN, and get everything off the ground. So, you know, as a welding instructor, I'm an entrepreneur too, so I'm gonna be able to give you more than the average person who has just worked a job. You don't have to go to school for welding, fam. You really don't. Salute, man. Glad you got your 3G. Stay at it. Keep a short arc. Stay tight on it. Get familiar with your wrist when you're doing that MIGing, fam. The main thing, family, like you say, lay beads and stay consistent. My bad, fam. Some comments are just popping up fast. Yes, I am a rig welder too, and so I do give people in my consultations how to start their rig welding business, or how to actually get out there as a rig welder. So my info is inside the bio for those who want some private consultations. Make sure y'all hit me up. Feel free. You'll get that job, fam, and that MIG. Just stay consistent at it, fam. You're gonna be okay. Yes, you can actually do that, fam. It's actually, you don't have to go to college. You can learn welding privately. You can learn it from a private school or just an individual, and you also can get on-the-job training. So it all depends on where you at and who you can actually reach out to get the ball rolling for your family. But you don't have to learn this the traditional way, so to speak. You don't have to get in debt. You don't have to break the bank. None of that. I'm gonna be honest. You gonna have to get you a gas unit. I would say get you a gas unit and get you a plug-in unit if you're gonna do some mobile welding. At least no less than a 225. I would say a 250 will be better. At least a 250 will be better because 225 sometimes give you a limit. So 225 to 250. I'm gonna say hit the 250 if you can't get the 305. And make sure you get you a good plug-in unit. You know, they got different kind of brands, so go with what works and what it got a good got good reviews and that'll stand, you know, stand strong so you can make some money. You don't want to buy something that'll break down. I'm about to get ready to go and run this. Yeah, generator welders. Yes, a generator welder. Miller or Lincoln, either or, depends on. I'm gonna be honest, I done had the Lincoln 305, they a beast. I done had the Miller 250s, 225s, they a beast. So it all depends on what you can afford. But I will say this, don't just go break the bank. Go check out Craigslist, Facebook Market, all those places. You might find somebody that's in the bind and need to sell it, and you can get a good deal, even with buying your regular equipment. I would say getting started in welding, I wouldn't buy a lot of stuff brand new unless I had to. I buy used stuff that's already been tested, learn it, get it before I go buy something else, in my personal opinion. I'm gonna go and run this bead right here. I'm gonna run a flat one, tie in real quick, show you some of this flux core. Like I said, I really like flux core, family, because I'm gonna dive in and do this one. And angle, gap, travel speed, all of that is important, family. All of that. And I always try to give you a dry run. Make sure you can do it before you actually just dive into it and just start doing it. Make sure you can finish and start. That's gonna be critical. And you want a slight drag. Remember, drag, slag, push wire. Remember that. Drag, slag, push wire. And if you do it right, you already seen, I don't know if you can notice that or not. I had my, oh, here we go. The slag, look at this. It's already coming off. Just falling off. So if the plate is clean and everything is working the way it needs to work, family, your slag just to fall off of it. It'll just fall off. And this is flux core. And the goal is just to run beads so that way you can get consistent with your travel. You don't want to start fast and go slow and then slow down again. You don't want to start off too slow and then go too fast. You want to learn how to make a consistent bead. And this going to come just with practicing and actually just running beads, fam. Running beads, running beads. And the more you run, literally, the better you're going to get when it comes to this. Like, you're going to get better and better and better, but you're going to have to practice and actually run some. Let me check in on the comments, fam. I see a few of y'all checked in on me. No, you don't have to do no motions with flux core. So with flux core, it's a straight drag. Get it in there, hit it, keep your gap. You want to have at least about a 3/4 stick out and just let it ride, fam. Now, when you're doing uphill or something, or you're doing a joint and you might have to manipulate it in certain things, you can, but you don't have to. It's kind of like a 70-18. You can drag and go. You really don't have to do any motions. Yes, only for the looks. Like when you're doing MIG and you're doing the 60-10, you can see more of the dimes. You can make more of the dimes and the pretty, but flux core is going to be a nice solid weld. It ain't going to be real pretty and a lot of dimes. This is going to be a solid clean weld though. Yes, flux core is always going to be a need because we always going to be repairing the infrastructure of America. What my guy said, we're going to always be building, and if they're not building, they're going to be repairing the things they already built. So just keep that in mind. That's why flux core is an asset, fam. Flux core, MIG welding going to be around just like stick welding. Just keep that in mind. All right, well, I'm going to dive into this. I'm going to move this other one because I wanted to do a few for y'all. I made up a T-joint. I just made up a T-joint so that way we can actually do this process. Let me move this camera up some. I don't like the way it's leaning. Y'all give me a second. Fix it. Salute, salute. Stay at it, fam. Stay at it. So what I'm going to do is, we're going to do, let me see, let me see, 1, 2, 1, 2. I'm trying to be able to do 4 welds here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So I got it spaced out right now, and I'm just eyeballing it. But you see, I got it spaced out. So the goal is, what we're gonna do in this exercise, we're gonna do 1 bead in every position and tie into it and see how it looks. So the goal is to do 1 bead. Now, this position flat, just laying like this is actually the horizontal position. When you're doing the flat in this, you're gonna tilt it like this. This is literally the flat. So we're gonna do everything, all 4 positions in the flux core, and then we'll go over and talk about it, and I'll show y'all kind of how you do it. But literally, this is an easy process. And to me personally, if you have did stick welding first, this is really gonna be easy for you because stick welding kind of sets the tone for flux core in my personal opinion. Yeah, that's good. Get it and then start traveling. You're gonna make more money when you travel, family. That's 100% truth. You're gonna make more money. Hey, thanks for checking in, family. I do appreciate everybody for checking in, for liking the channel. I want to say, for those who haven't subscribed to my YouTube yet, go over there and check it out. The link is in the bio. It's Your Welding Coach on YouTube. It's Your Welding Coach on Facebook. Your Welding Coach on Instagram. Your Welding Coach on TikTok. So y'all make sure hit all my little channels up. If you're cool with me, come forward with me. Like I say, my goal is to start actually bringing more content. So I've been working on a couple things. I actually just invested in a new camera. So my goal is to do some interviews, bring more people in to share their experience and share what they have got out of welding and what welding has took them, so that way we can motivate other people to dive into the trade, to dive into the culture of welding. So we want to bring more of a awareness to welding, fabrication, mobile welding, the whole nine. And especially for the African American community, because as of now, I think the last one I checked, we was like under 10% of the whole welding market. And we need to change that narrative. So my goal is to make more of our people want to dive into welding, more people of color. I think that, you know, the field needs more diversity. And then plus, we need to know that we need to see someone like us doing it. And we need to know that there's no limitations as far as what we can accomplish and what we can do in life. Oh, the owner take the initiative. That's good. There's a whole lot, family. That's a long conversation on how to open up a school. You're going to have to hit me up on a consultation or something. That's a long conversation. Okay, salute, salute. Like I say, we are out here, family. You know, but the numbers are very low. So my goal is to try to help more people dive into it of color, to want to learn how to weld, want to teach welding, want to sell welding products, want to build things from welding, all the full nine. It all depends on, when you say normal, it all depends on where you located at, family. Now, nationally, probably probably gonna say 16 to 17, maybe $18 nationally. You know what I mean? But it changes, depends on where you at, what location, what city, all that stuff changes. Salute, salute. Thanks for checking in, fam. I'm gonna do all I can, fam, to keep this information going. Shout out to Houston. What's going on, Houston? Checking in. I haven't been there yet, fam, but it's on my bucket list. I actually got a brother. For those who are looking for welding in the Houston area, he's actually in Katy, Texas. I think it's close to Houston, close by 30 minutes or so. He got a welding facility there called Griffin Welding. So make sure you check Griffin out. He's in Katy, Texas, for those who want to dive into welding. It's another African-American brother who's providing education and really helping the market. Cool brother. So if y'all in the area, if y'all cool with it, go food with us, fam. It's not hard to get certified at all. Actually, you don't even have to have a high school diploma to get in our program. You just got to be 18 or older. That's it. 18 or older, you get in, the game changes. So let me tack this up, fam. Let's do some welding. I've been doing a lot of talking. Let's do some welding. My goal is, like I say, is to do these in a couple positions. So we're just gonna tack this up and run a couple welds and see how they turn out, fam. We're gonna see how they turn out. Let's do this first. That turned out pretty good. I'm gonna actually zoom into it so y'all can see it. Let y'all zoom into this one. See this one. Now this is in the flat position. That's the flat position. We just knocked that one out. And the goal is we're gonna do all these in position and tie in. So now we're about to dive into the horizontal. So with this horizontal, instead of doing it flat horizontal, I'm gonna actually tack it up here. So we're gonna do it a little different. We're gonna do it like this. I do want to say this though, cleanliness is next to godliness. Every time you run a good weld, make sure you stop, you get your snips, you tap it, make sure it's clean. I don't have my snips on me, so I don't know what I did, but I don't got my snips on, but make sure everything is good, your nozzle, everything is clean. Make sure your plate is ready for when you get ready to start. All of these things are very, very critical, family. So just keep that in mind when you're learning. You want to actually, you want to make sure that cleanliness is next to godliness, because if you don't clean something, you can get some trash in it, and I'm telling you, it's going to just mess your whole life off. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you keep it clean, fam. Okay, fam, I'm about to dive into this. I wanted to tie in, but I actually did that wrong. I need to do it, flip it around the other way. Hold up. Nah, I did it. I did it wrong as far as how I wanted to tie in. So I'm just gonna change my angle and do it from a different angle this time. I should have put that bead on this side, but I did it wrong. So we're gonna tie into here and keep it moving. Ooh, I went a hair over. Show y'all. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, family. I'm in Little Rock, Arkansas, for those who want to know where I'm at. So I kind of went a hair over on my thing. I couldn't see my line right here, which is fine. But I tied into this one. This is going to be the horizontal. Now we're going to flip it so I can tie into that one to be the vertical. But let's tap it off. We got a couple the worm tracks in that. So now we're gonna take it down. So now, as y'all see, I got it in the horizontal position. All right, we tying in, fam. So now, all right. Let that cool down some. Let that cool down some, and then we're gonna dive back into it. I'm going uphill now, yes sir. Yes, you're gonna have to learn a little math with your fabrication, fam. Most definitely. You're gonna have to learn how to use that tape measure. And I teach the introduction to the tape measure because if you're gonna be a fabricator, fam, you got to learn how to use that tape measure. So learn how to use a tape measure. You would just wanna learn how to use it from a 16th to an inch. If you learn from a 16th to an inch, it'll be easy for you to master the process. Easy for you to read 30 feet, 1,000 foot, if you can read 1 inch. So keep that in mind, fam. Keep that in mind. And like I say, give you an update on this. You can see that. Now we're about to Now we're about to set this in the overhead. Kind of hot a little bit. Got a little pinholes in that second one. And now we're going to do it like this. Shoot. And that's another thing about flux core, fam. Flux core gets hot. So keep that in mind. Keep some good gloves on and stay safe, because flux core gets hot, fam. It gets hot. So now we're about to do the overhead. So I wanted to do it everything in every position, give you a good idea. So now I'm gonna tie in, and we're gonna do the overhead. Woo! And there it goes, man. I want to make sure I cut my gas off and everything, because I'm actually done with this for now. Sometimes I leave and get to cut the gas off. So, the main thing you want to do, fam, is practice. Run beads and practice. Should be able to see this good. Let me put this up here on y'all. Hopefully you can see this real good. That's the last one though. I don't know if you can see that. Really can't see. I'm gonna have to get some, really need to get my other light. Give me a second. Let me get my other light, fam. Grab my other light real quick. Let y'all walk with me, because you really can't see it over there without a good light. All right, here we go, fam. That's the overhead. So the goal is, family, just to practice. The more you practice, the better you get. That's the main thing. So just keep that in mind, fam. I just wanted to talk to y'all briefly today, go over some input. Hopefully I gave somebody something they could use. And hey, man, if y'all cool with me, continue to fool with me. Share the channel. Let other people know about welding awareness. Try to motivate people just to get into the trade, because it is a game changer for those who are trying to get into it and really change their lives. So it's a door that they can open that no one can close but you, fam. So just keep that in mind. I appreciate everybody for checking in, all the support. Like I say, make sure y'all go check out the YouTube channel, Your Welding Coach on YouTube. And also for those who have been asking me about some of my gear, show you my hog on gear for those who want to get their hog on with me, fam. If you want to get your hog on with me and you want to pick up some of the nice gear, fam, all you have to do is go to Amazon and put in hog on welding. And it's gonna pop up t-shirts, hoodies, or whatever, and you can get your hog on with me, fam. The shirts is like $19, so it's nothing that's very expensive, but I got a lot of different colors. I got a lot of cool little things, and y'all can get your hog on with me, man. I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Hog on.